Okay, let's clear up the whole Donald Marshall and Tila Tequila and Chris Benoit thing. First of all, I'm the protege of this guy. That's Ptah. That's the ancient Egyptian reptilian entity of Ptah. I'm his protege. He's the 359th Freemasonic degree. I, myself, am legit Anunnaki. I know I'm gonna have a lot of new videos, not a lot of, but a lot of new viewers on this, so I just want to get that out of the way so you understand where I'm coming from. I have a real occult education. I am as close as you'll ever get to like a real whatever you want to call it. I have lots of inside info, and I've been putting stuff together for a long time, connecting so many dots for a long time. Okay, let's clear up this Donald Marshall crap. Donald Marshall makes me laugh because he's another white person with a crown chakra. That is always a red flag, regardless of whether it's Marilyn Manson or whoever, whether it's David Blaine or it's Chris Angel. If you see a white person with a crown chakra, that means that they're either an alien or that they were given special occult training by secret societies, and that's white people are never born naturally with the crown chakra. That's usually something that's only reserved for the melanin enriched people. Okay, now first of all, Pita, the guy you just saw on my phone, told me that Tila Tequila is a gray alien. Now here's the thing. Donald Marshall claims to be exposing this, exposing that, but he also claims to be a Christian. That's another red flag, because anyone can say that that if you believe that, you're retarded. I'm sorry, but if you believe that, you're retarded. Okay, but here's the big picture with this. I know a lot of you are not going to believe this, but when I listen to, and you have to remember who I am. I have so much training. When I listen to Donald Marshall speak, he sounds to me exactly like Tila Tequila. He has the same speech pattern as Tila Tequila. And I'm not saying what Donald Marshall says is not true, because I personally have had the same experience where they built clones of me and they put my soul in the body of clones, but I didn't do anything like what he's talking about. I didn't have any involvement in what he's talking about. What they did with me is that they cloned me. Well, excuse me. What they used to do, they used to clone me and put me inside the body of my clone and have me fight wars against the Goa'uld for the Grey Aliens. I used to fight wars for the Grey Aliens in my sleep because I have lots of metaphysical talents, and quite frankly, I am the king of all ascending reptilians, and I'm Anunnaki, and I've had a lot of past lives in the fifth dimension as an alliance warrior. And those of you who know me know I have the warrior spirit. Moving right along. So, if you ask me, Donald Marshall is obviously an alien possessing a body, pretending, that he's a Christian and pretending that he's out to expose something, and the guy has no fire to him. He sounds so much like Alan Watt as far as he just sounds so neutered. And so anyway, the problem with these people is that the biggest red flag that I see is that his speech pattern is so much like Tila Tequila's. He sounds exactly like her. Matter of fact, it would not surprise me if he really was her and the gray alien possessing Tila's tequila when it's not in Tila's tequila, it's possessing Donald Marshall, or that there's some sort of... I mean, gray aliens, you know, let's face it, they don't really have that much personality variation. So when you look at it, it just seems... To me, it just... I mean, the guy... I mean, the other red flag is that if someone is going around doing interviews on YouTube, they're bullshit, or that they're just telling you 70% truth and 30% lies. So when this guy says they make clones of people and they put your soul in their body, that happens. That's happened to me. So I just wanted to clear that up and let you know who I am. Now, as far as the Chris Benoit thing, Pita, the guy you saw on my phone, told me that Chris Benoit was warned not to kill his family in advance. And the funny part about this is what Donald Marshall says about Chris Benoit, how he says that it's kind of funny because Chris Benoit out YouTubed me, because what happened was Chris Benoit told his therapist that the Queen of England is blasting him into other dimensions and raping him in his sleep. And there's two wrestlers. One is Matt Stryker, and the other is Billy Jack Haynes. Billy Jack Haynes says that Chris Benoit's autistic son Daniel is really Vince McMahon's son, and that's the only reason why he killed Daniel, his wife, and himself. And then Matt Stryker says that he doesn't... Matt Stryker's official quote was he wasn't there, so he doesn't feel like he wants to blame Chris Benoit for what he did. In other words, he's implying a conspiracy. So that's pretty much all I need to know right there. It tells me that A, wrestlers have a mission, and they are basically just... Okay, people like Pita... Okay. Pita was Mustafa, which was New Jack's tag team partner in ECW. So basically, wrestling is like a alien club where they're just there to work and probably pay off their karma. Because remember, all the aliens that are in this dimension were sent here because they fucked up. The aliens that are here, that are possessing bodies, are here because they fucked up in a higher dimension. And they got thrown down here as punishment. And like, if you really think Donald Marshall is human, a Christian, on your side, that's all fallacy. So, I mean, I believe that he wrote the songs, and I believe that's him on the Megadeth cover of the album. Megadeth has an album where his face is on the cover of it. Yeah, I believe that, but, you know, he's not a Christian, and he's obviously an alien, and being an alien is very obvious because, like I said, if they have a crown chakra, if they don't have any, like, testosterone in their voice, if they don't have any, like, if they don't have that, then they're an alien. And that means they have the crown chakra activated. Like, when you hear Marilyn Manson talk, he talks like he has, like, a stuffy nose. He sounds very calm. Same thing with Alan Watt, same thing with David Blaine, same thing with, what's the other magician guy? It's Chris Angel. they all have the crown chakra activated, which either means that one of two things: that they're an alien, or they are trained in the black arts. So anyway, it's time for some observations, some sociology. So basically, I've observed that the horniest people are the reptilian male, which would be me, and the Arcturian female, which would be people like Tila, Monica Lewinsky, Kim Kardashian, Sue Debbie, and I also have a subscriber named Lavender Mountain Cloud who is also very horny. So by far and away, the female Arcturian and the male reptilian, those are the two horniest alien types by far. And remember, there's a lot of you girls out there who are thin and pretty, like Jessica Schaub. There's a lot of you thin, pretty white girls out there who are prudes, and you are not sexual. But that is a problem. And the reason why that's a problem is because you need lots of sexual energy to channel it into chi. So if you don't have your glands working, putting out the right amount of lust and desire, you're never going to turn that desire into chi, and you're never going to transform, and you're going to have to rely on Gaia to crank you up, and you're leaving it to chance. So oh, and the other thing I noticed about the Arcturian female is that the Arcturian female has like the least facial variation. All the Arcturian females look like sisters. I look at Sue Debbie and Lavender Mountain Cloud, they look almost exactly alike. Oh, here's another thought I was pondering. A long time ago, Glenn Keely said there's an underground train that's, Oprah has like a station under her house, Bill Gates has a station under his house, and Glenn Keely said that train would crash because those type of people are no longer needed. So I really wonder if that train's going to crash. I'm interested in hearing what you have to say about that. I asked my Cyborg TV show writer, and he wouldn't comment on that. Like 90% of the other shit I say or ask him. He doesn't tell me shit. Don't tell me a damn thing. So I've been emailing Kimberly Bunch, right? And she gives me so many mixed messages because on one hand she tells me that I'll be fine regarding my court case and I'll come out on top. On the other hand, she says I'm in trouble with the Nagas because I pissed off the Astral Nagas, but she doesn't say why. But that definitely has something to do with why I've been seeing 13 everywhere. And then she tells me that they're going to force an upgrade on me to astral travel. So on one hand, I'm punished, and then on the other hand, she's telling me that they're upgrading me. It doesn't make no sense. How can I be punished and be upgraded at the same time? And she said that I'm in turmoil in my parallel lives. Because remember, for those that don't know, there's 7 dimensions. Not dimensions. There's 7 computer simulations that are like this one. This one is the second worst one. The worst one is called Trinicon. This one is the second to last. The other places have like free energy and they're in their ascension period, and we're just stuck in our little quantitative easing mode. I also wanted to say that you might find this funny, but I actually pray for Freely the Banana Girl. I actually pray that her heart chakra will activate because she eats all the food to be, a vegan and blah 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 blah. But I actually pray for her to develop the heart because so many people eat right, but the heart's not there. She's the perfect example of that. So another thing I wanted to say that another reason why I'm representing myself in court is because all my life I've had that innate feeling that someone as divergent as me is basically bound for prison. So all my life I felt like prison is helpless, not because I'm immoral or bad, just because that they want to arrest you. See, we live in the day and age of everyone goes to prison. And I was recently arrested for uploading a phone call to YouTube, and all the phone call was an FBI agent asking me, where do you work, and why do you think New York is going to be nuked? So apparently that's a heinous crime, and apparently they want to give me a third-degree felony over a phone call, which would be spilled milk. So if I feel that's why I have to represent myself in court because at what point do you take a stand and stop getting caught up in the Mason game, which is court? And you know what says it all? My dad talked to a lawyer, and he's like, I talked to a lawyer, Jordan, and the lawyer says that he can talk to the state's attorney and see what he can do about getting the charge dropped. That right there shouldn't exist. The fact that a lawyer can talk to a state attorney about getting the charge dropped, that's bullshit. Only in a bullshit world, in a bullshit society, could that possibly happen. That just goes to show you that it's all masonically rigged and it's all bullshit, so I don't even sweat it because Goo 2 is not useful in prison. So I guess I have to, what I'm doing is I'm making the Adjustment Bureau work. I wrote something down about the license plate code, but I don't remember what I was going to elaborate on that about. I don't remember. And let me address these astral negas. Okay, Kimberly Bunch says I'm in trouble, right? Here's the thing. You don't bring me in. You don't formally bring me in. You don't formally initiate me. You never told me to shut up. You never swore me to secrecy. You never brought me in formally. And you're going to punish me? You're not even going to tell me what I did wrong, and you're going to punish me. I'm not even officially, formally sworn in. I don't have an oath of office, and you're saying you're going to punish me. I don't have... I have no idea, like, what... Okay, you're going to punish me, and this is all according to Kimberly Bunch. You're going to punish me, but I'm already lost my job and facing a felony, and you don't teach me anything. You leave me. You've abandoned me for 2 years, and you're going to punish me, like as if everything I've been through isn't punishment enough. I mean, you abandon me, you don't teach me anything, everyone pretends I don't exist, even the people that are not Nagas, and I'm the hottest thing since sliced bread, and you're going to punish me. And I've somehow angered you. I've somehow angered the Astral Nagas. How do you figure that? That's all I want to know. How do you figure that? Crazy. Um, there's something else. I had a dream last night that I was watching a movie where a bunch of kids found an underground portal that takes you from California to Georgia. What does it mean? I think watching the movie means that I would have a role in what I saw. So I guess I'm gonna have a role in an underground portal. And you know what? When I when I first got arrested, I told my father. I said, "I bet you this charge gets dropped because they're gonna figure out that I'm one of them." My father's like, "What do you mean you're one of them?" I said, "I bet you they make me like a CIA asset." And he's like, "No, they're not gonna make you a CIA asset." And then, so I'm talking to Kimberly Bunch, and you know what she says to me? She says, "Jordan, it looks like I'm seeing you getting some CIA astral travel training." And see, it's like my intuition. It's and even if it's not my intuition, it's like the spirit guide talking. And I called it before it even happened. I fucking called that before it even happened. So, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I am police. I'm not saying that I'm an agent. I'm just saying that I know people that are all the way at the top. Let me show you. That's the order of the green light. So I know people that are all the way at the top, and see, he's wearing a cape. You know why? Because the Draco lizard wears a cape. That's where that comes from. So I know this guy too. Oh, by the way, you want to see the Queen of England? That's the real Queen of England right there. When the old lady version dies, the Queen of England, that's who's going to be the real Queen of England. It's Dita Von Teese. Remember, the Queen of England owns record companies. Matter of fact, I was talking to a girl that's on the inside, and she said she had a dream where they signed contracts in a room where the walls are red. It's probably the symbolism for the blood of the Goyim. The Goyim being the sheeple, and yeah, I know the people all the way at the top. Here's your pyramid structure. Starts off the Blue Lodge, then goes to Scottish Rite, and the Blue Lodge, Scottish Rite, Primitive Order of Memphis and Mizraim, then the Scarlet Cord, then the Illuminati of the Amber Light, then the Illuminati of the Green Light, and then at the top you have the dragon known as Draco, who I'm pretty sure I've seen before because there's one time Pita showed me a dragon that was, well, actually, Pita didn't show me this. I was at work and I was on top of the roof, and all of a sudden I saw a dragon that was literally 16 stories tall and 4 houses wide. Now, when I reported to Pita that I saw this dragon, he said, "You weren't supposed to see that dragon." And the way he said it, he sounded like he was trying to set me up or betray me. I'll never know, but that's where the smart money is going to bet on. I'm betting on betrayal, and I've been seeing 13 everywhere today, and 13 everywhere is usually, it means that your ancestors, but at the same time, your ancestors are either upgrading you, which would make sense because that's what Kimberly Bunch said, because she said that they were going to force an upgrade of astral projection on me, and so whatever. All I know is that I've suffered enough, and I've suffered enough, and apparently I'm going to suffer again. Apparently I've just begun to suffer, so blah.